Welcome to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, I'm going to be breaking down episodes 5 through 8 of The Circle Season 6. Folks, when I tell you things just got started, I mean things just got started. This week's episode, we had plenty of twists and turns and people eliminated, new people in, all of these things, and I'm happy to break them down for you guys this week. First off, I want to thank you guys for tuning into the most recent episodes of the Love and Reality Podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, you can check out the interview I did with Vanderpump Villa's Caroline Blau. We talked about her experience on the show, some of the aspects of what she delivered, and what we can expect from the second half of the season. On top of that, you can check out the most recent episodes of me breaking down the Valley and Vanderpump Villa. It'll drop this Friday. Lots of content coming your way as far as it comes to reality TV right now. Very, very, very excited. There's a lot going on. If you're watching on the YouTube or if you're listening on the podcast platforms, I am covering Patty Stanger, the Matchmaker, right now on it airs Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on the CW. It's definitely been one of the more interesting watches that I've had. The first episode had a kind of a celebrity aspect of it where we had two people from reality TV looking for love now. And then this past week episode, we had two regular people that weren't reality TV individuals. Nick Vile from the Vile Files, he is there helping Patty Stanger help people find love with the matchmaking. I think it's a very, very good show. If you miss it on Thursdays, it is available on the CW app website or the app. Definitely think it's worth watching. Like I said, I've really enjoyed some of the shows we got coming up right around the corner. Coming, I think this was May 9th or 10th, I believe it is. May 9th or 10th, we are looking at season 1 of God, I'm just drawing a blank right now. The Goats season 1 is coming right around. I don't know why I just had a brain fart about that, but season 1 of The Goat is right around the corner. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 drop May 9th, with new episodes dropping every week after that, leading up to the finale on June 27th. So it's definitely going to be a weekly show. Legends of Reality TV compete to earn the title of the greatest reality show contestant of all time. Some of the individuals you can catch on the show is Kristen Doty, Jill Zaran, Joey Sasso from The Circle, my guy Joey Sasso, Tech Holmes, Reza Farron, CJ Franco, Alyssa Edward, Taisha Admins, let's see here, Joe Ambell, Lauren Speed, Divine Rogers, Jason Smith, and Wendell Howard. Can't wait to talk about that show. I've actually already watched it, but I can't really say much about it yet. But like I said, that debuts on May 9th. And of course, I think it's May 10th. The Ultimatum, South Africa, is coming. And that trailer looked intense. Can't wait for that as well. But let's go ahead and dive into this week's episode of The Circle, episodes 5 through 6. Just going to break down some thoughts, what happened, the big moments, stuff like that. So, who was the first blocked person on the show? We were left with that cliffhanger last week with Miles heading to the room of the first blocked person. And of course, it ended up being Steffi. Steffi was the first person kicked off the show. It was revealed to everyone that Steffi was eliminated. And Steffi is, in fact, not the AI. Everyone is flipping out because they aren't sure who the AI currently is. However, in another twist, we're not going to see Max all season here, which I kind of expected. But I think in a very good twist, because a lot of people didn't love Max the AI, and I think it was a trial to see what it would happen and how it would unfold. So Max the AI bot popped up on the screen and revealed that he was the AI bot. And everyone was in the floor, shook, because of the groundbreaking news. They were talking a little bit in the Circle chat. Casey threw a little shade at Miles after he pleaded for forgiveness because we get a little back and forth drama. She's like, as an AI person, maybe you should have known. You should have been able to spot the AI person. But yeah, it was pretty crazy to see that they revealed it as fast as they did because they just got rid of Max. So we were short-sighted of Max, short-sighted of Steffi, which means a lot more is going to happen. We have a new alliances lining up. Lauren slid into Olivia, aka Paul's DMs, after losing both Steffi and Max. They talked about building the girly gang with QT and Cassie. Miles and QT's partnership starts to grow. They talk about bringing in Kyle and bringing them into Tres Fuego. That to me, Miles, QT are some of the most dominant players that we've seen so far. These two are the leaders of the pack. Definitely finding it more and more interesting. On the flip side, it was game time. The group has to draw pictures of a portrait, quote unquote, trait of one of the fellow members, talking about one of their poor traits. We see a lot of different things here. We see some people that really took the opportunity to body slam other people. Olivia threw Paul under the bus. Paul made Lauren very nice. Kyle on Olivia. Cassie drew Miles, which wasn't very happy. And then Miles painted Cassie as a snake in the grass. And then, of course, QT made Kyle and called him the king of boring. QT with a nice little game playing move here. QT, again, she understands that she has this alliance, but if she can throw somebody else under the bus to show Kyle that somebody's going after him, which she, of course, later on quickly pins it on somebody else in a DM with Kyle. Great game playing here. This was magnificent. This is the type of stuff that I love watching on these shows, is strategic players. QT, advertised herself as one of the people that have watched the series inside and out, like inside out and backwards. So she came in with a plan. This was magnificent. I love this move. I thought it was fantastic. That was the end of episode 5. Episode 6, we got 2 new members coming to the show. We got 2 new members coming to the circle. First, we have Jordan, 24 years old, Austin, Texas, and is a photographer. He's going in him as himself. However, he's entering as a Big J. Back in the day, he weighed about 300 pounds. He's bringing Big J back to the equation because people think he looks like a douchebag. And well, if the shoe fits Jordan, you might want to wear it. And Autumn, a rancher, 21 years old, from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is pretty crazy. Murfreesboro, Tennessee is not very far from me. I actually lived there for almost a decade. Kind of crazy to think about. But Autumn and Jordan are 2 new game players. Everyone will rate each other after this. Autumn and Jordan will be rating, but can't be rated. They will get a chance to compete with the new players first. So Autumn and Jordan got to pick 2 people who pitched to them, 1 person each, who pitched to them to have a conversation. Autumn picked Paul, aka Caress. Autumn already getting off in the wrong track, siding with someone who isn't even great at the game. Like, Autumn dove head first into this. It's insane to watch, right? And then Paul calls out Lauren. Cassie is a snake in the grass. Paul just threw everybody on the bus, calls out QT and Miles' romance. Paul didn't hold back, and Autumn isn't sure how to feel. You asked for the recap, and Paul laid it on the line and wasn't shy about throwing these individuals under the bus. Jordan picked Miles. They chatted it up. This was definitely interesting. Jordan wanted more from Miles, but didn't get it, and that was kind of crazy. Olivia slid into Kyle's DMs to apologize for the shade throwing. These two get a little emotional over their fathers passing as kids. This was definitely something that wasn't prepared. Definitely a raw and emotional side of Kyle that we hadn't seen yet. Very, very sad, very somber moment here. All right, alert. They must now rate each other. The results are in. The top 2 will become influencers. 7th place came Cassie. Poor damn Cassie. I really like Cassie. I feel like she got the short end of the stick here. 6th place, Olivia, dropped from 1st to 6th. 5th place was Paul. Not really much of a shock there. 4th place was Miles. 3rd place was Lauren. 1st and 2nd place are Kyle and QT. So, alert, alert, alert. The 2 influencers will decide to block a player from the game. Kyle and QT are in the hangout and must decide who to block. Tres Fuego is at the table. Miles is off the table, obviously. Olivia is brought up. Kyle's uncertain after they had that deep conversation with Olivia. Paul is brought up. QT doesn't really hate it. They are down to Lauren, Olivia, and Cassie. And of course, we get a little bit of a cliffhanger here. Moving on to episode 7. But the person that QT and Kyle blocked is Cassie. She is absolutely gutted. Before Cassie leaves, she can meet with any person face to face. Cassie decides to meet up with Olivia, aka Brandon. This is, of course, when she reveals that Olivia is a catfish, but Brandon and Cassie have a strong conversation. Cassie calls out QT for playing the game and broke not one, but two alliances. She left a note for the crew. Of course, she wasn't a catfish. She calls out her people when she was in alliance with people and says there's a snake in the grass that's not her. Boom. Group chat is open. Everyone is throwing shade, and Olivia announces that Cassie came to visit her last night. Everyone wants Olivia to spill the tea. Olivia is straight out calling folks, and Miles said, "Fuck Olivia." Miles ain't afraid to say what he has on his mind, which I don't mind. Like, I've grown to really like Miles and his game playing here as well. Kyle and Jordan and Paul and Miles are chatting in each other's DMs. Alert! We have a game. We have to pick one or the other. So I'm going to play along with you guys. I want you guys to do the same with me at home when you're listening to this. Fight one bear, fight 500 chickens. I think I would pick 500 chickens. Ain't no shot I'm winning one-on-one versus a bear. I think I got a better chance at 500 chickens. I understand there's 500 of them, but I don't think I have a chance in hell at beating a bear. Cozy night in, wild night out. I'm old. Cozy night in every day of the week. I just do not do the wild night outs anymore. Photos get leaked. Phone photos get leaked, or Google searches all day get leaked. It's, for me, this is like an either or, but Google all day, I'm pretty boring. You know what I mean? You might find me Googling, certain holidays, or Googling, sports betting picks or something boring like that, or Googling when the latest episodes of reality TV shows are going to be on. But all right, no sex for a year or no social media for a year. This to me was definitely interesting because somebody pointed out, I think it was QT pointed out, that social media is part of her job. So it's like, no social media for me for a year, like I lose a lot of money. No sex for a year also sounds awful. But I don't know. I think no social media for a year is probably good for anybody's health. So I went no social media. All right, find your parents' sex tape or your parents find your sex tape. This was another one that I went back and forth on. Like, does anybody really love the idea of watching their parents' sex tape? No. Does anybody really care about the idea of maybe the parents watching their sex tape? And you know what? I think I initially put parents' sex tape, but I think I'm gonna flip-flop and say, let my parents find mine. I don't even know. You know what I mean? Alert! This was a little bit tricky. I like what they're doing. There's so many twists this year that I think that's really keeping this game interesting. That, to me, has been the best part of the circle, is the twist and turns at every angle. They completed the games. It was a compatibility test for those in the circle. Now, each player will be paired up based on their answers, but their partnership must remain a secret. Here are the teams. QT and Jordan. These two hit it off shockingly. Jordan was QT's first target, but he's going to try to use her to gain an alliance. QT gives a little bit of a T. Olivia and Miles. This was hilarious because these two hate each other, and Olivia hates Miles even more after what he did to Cassie. This is going to go as well as expected. They don't really like each other. They agree to rate each other high, but Miles wants more and wants the same at the bottom of the barrel. Miles suggests Autumn. Olivia agrees, and they have a deal. So these two come to an agreement, agree to disagree. We're going to put our differences aside to win together. Paul and Kyle, Lauren might be their target after their chat. Lauren and Autumn talk. Autumn opened up to her and told her everything, and Paul said, including calling Lauren a backstabber. Miles is about to set the building on fire, literally. We have a Paris dance party, lots of dancing. Alert! Right before we dive into episode 8, everyone is in a secret partnership. The partnership means more than they thought, with their fates being tied together. If you're blocked, your ride or die is blocked with you. Holy shit, this raised the stakes. This was one of another fantastic twist and turns. This is one of the things that, again, this is what's keeping me interested. I'm not a big The Circle guy. It's not my favorite reality TV show, but I'm watching it because it's interesting, and I like recapping these reality TV shows. And this one I definitely liked a lot. All right, alert. Circle scenarios. Each scenario is for each individual player. Autumn kicked us off with the most and least likely to fall in love at first sight. Most likely she picked Olivia. Least likely she picked Paul. No real ruffles of feathers. Kyle, most and least likely to ghost someone. Most likely he picked Jordan, and least likely picked Paul. Jordan was asked most likely to win the circle. Wisely picked Kyle because he has been at the forefront of everything. Least likely, Olivia. A little bit of a slide there. Paul, most likely to ditch their friends for a date. Most likely, he picked Olivia. And then least likely, he said QT. Lauren, which player most likely and least likely to buy likes? She picked her own person, thinking that maybe it would help shadow the disguise of it being her ride and die. So she picked Autumn as most likely and least likely QT. Lauren said Autumn, which was shade, but it was an odd look after they are ride and dies. Now, Olivia, which player is most likely to stab someone in the back? And Miles here wants Olivia to stick to the game plan. We're throwing Autumn under the bus. Most likely Autumn, least likely Lauren. Miles is excited because Olivia has stuck with the game plan. Brandon is dying, but also needed to stick by Miles. It's all part of the strategy here. QT, most likely to kiss ass. Most likely and least likely to kiss ass. Most likely Autumn. And Autumn is like half dead here. Like everyone is freaking the fuck out because Autumn has walked in and out, instantly become a target on her back. Least likely she picked Jordan. Miles said most likely and least likely to catfish someone. She picked Autumn as well. Miles picked Autumn as well, and least likely said Olivia, which is hilarious considering Olivia is a catfish. But Autumn is not happy and quite emotional. Miles sticks to the game plan. Olivia is happy but not happy because it is Miles. I get being upset, but this is a damn game. We got to toughen up a little bit, guys. All right, Olivia slid into Autumn's DMs to make sure she is okay. Autumn gives it back to Olivia, saying she threw her off the cliff. These two kind of cried over being bullied whenever they're kids. This very somber moment here. Paul and Laura muck it up with her opening up about the struggles. That was definitely another good conversation. Alert, alert, alert. It's rating time. It's announced the bottom ranked player will be eliminated. The ratings are in. Olivia, Miles, QT, Jordan, Lauren, Autumn are safe, meaning Kyle and Paul are going home. Wow. However, another twist. Like we can't get enough of these twists right now. It says one of you has a chance to save your ride or die and making a sacrifice and blocking yourself from the circle instead. So Kyle wants to stay, so does Pyle. If they both choose to stay, they both will be blocked. If they both sacrifice, they will be both blocked. And of course, that's where they leave us on a cliffhanger. Whew. I really do feel Kyle's going to stay no matter what. I feel like Paul's going to really sacrifice, especially with, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to happen. But who knows? That was, again, twist, turns, crazy. We had our first blocked person. And then we had some shade thrown. We got the ride or dies. We've got everybody committed to the ride or dies and people that are tied together that didn't expect to be tied together. And that's it for episodes 5 through 8 of The Circle. Next Wednesday, May 1st, episodes 9 through 12 will be available. And then, of course, May 8th, the final episode, we'll figure out who is crowned the winner of The Circle Season 6. Folks, before we go, I had a little fun thing. I myself wanted to rate the cast of this show myself, right? I wanted to give you guys my rating of each member of this cast before we go. So here we go. This is my thoughts right now. So I think we have 8 players, right? I think it's 8 because of the new players of Autumn and Jordan, right? So here is my ratings so far for The Circle Season 6 after episodes 5 through 8. So coming in at 8th place, I'm going to go Jordan. Not really a big fan of Jordan early on. Definitely feel like he's too much show here, right? And 7th place. 7th place, I'm going to go Autumn. And it's just because I don't really know much about Autumn so far. I don't feel like we really got a lot to going off of her character so far. So I'm definitely going to go there. Let's see. 6, I'm definitely going to go Paul. Of course it's all comes down to maybe the aspect of the catfishing, which is fine. I just don't feel like Paul, aka Caress, is playing a very good game. Coming in at 5th place, I'm probably going to go Olivia, aka Brandon. Not a big fan either. 4th place, I'm gonna go Lauren. Lauren's kind of high and low for me. No, at fourth place, I'm gonna go Kyle. Kyle's high and low for me. Kyle and Lauren kind of go back and forth. Third place, I'm gonna go Lauren there. Just definitely interesting. Second place, I'm gonna go Miles because I think Miles is a great game player. Miles probably would have been like seventh last week, but this week I'm gonna go Miles in second. And then first place QT. I think that Quori-Taylor is playing the best game of anybody that we've seen in a couple seasons. I like the strategy. I like the multiple alliances. She's got to watch herself, obviously, going forward. But yeah, so eighth place, Jordan. Seventh place, Autumn. Sixth place, Paul. Fifth place, Olivia. Fourth place, Kyle. Third place, Lauren. Second place, Miles. And first place, QT. Folks, I want to hear your ratings of our cast season 6 cast members because this is fun. I love the show. Cannot wait till next week's episode. These twists and turns are keeping you on your toes. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Love and Reality podcast. I'll talk to you guys soon.